Yeah, this is a Monday listed as Liquid Democracy, which is on hold. So it's a general open CoLab work study. You bring whatever you want to it. And you consider, the meta process, the process of CoLab itself as a work study. How we can increase involvement of people in work studies, why more people aren't involved, what are we doing wrong. But we can look at the worksheet.
Yeah, I've got the notes in the channel.
All right. And I guess I should share my screen. This stuff will probably all needs to be updated. But this actually isn't so bad. Monday, 2 p.m. Okay, make sure it's clear. That's who we are. On topic request. We just said topic is open on Monday for now. I think Tuesday is also open. Yeah, this is pretty up to date. So where the hell is the reward sheet? This link opens up May. We have a June, July, August. And we need to consider payment for September. Heidi, welcome.
Hey guys.
So we were just talking about Monday being an open session. It's not specific to the Liquid Democracy. The calendar needs to be updated. Liquid Democracy is on hold. I mean, yeah, we want to do that again, and I guess Monday's as good a time as any to do it, but not for now. So, I guess we're looking at the current activity in the CoLab. And,
Scroll down a bit, Jim. Okay, there's where we're putting our notes. So we've talked about fixing the calendar to show what we're presently doing here. Jim, Gary, and Audie are present. We need to talk about getting paid for our efforts. Now, in the art on the blockchain this morning, we moved a ways towards looking at Eric's model for these transfer, or he says he wants to limit our project at this point in time to be able to transfer the ownership of a work of art to another person for money, and then based on a contract, update the provenance and return 15% of the sale price of the art object to the current owner of the art object. See, the person that makes the sale gets most of the money because they own it. Then it gets transferred to a new person who now owns it, but 15% of the royalties from the art object get transferred to the original owner, which in the first sale case is the first time it's sold, the original owner gets everything. Now, the second time it's sold, the person who sells it, who owns it, gets 85% of the money, and the previous owner or the original owner gets 15% of the money. Now, what happens the next time it's sold? Next time it's sold, the person who sells it gets 85%. The 15% goes to the previous person who sold it, and 15% of that goes to the original owner. Is this starting to sound like a pyramid scheme?
Yeah. Interesting. So, yeah, we should do that.
Okay.
So, when do we want to do that? Do we want to do that tomorrow?
Yeah,
Okay.
I need to think about it today. But if you probably ought to watch the art on the blockchain video. It was well attended. There were 5 and 6 of us at most of the meeting, but the meeting started in the Dig Live Talk About Anything session this morning, where Michael, me, and what's her name from Keybase?
Stacy?
No, Stacy. Yeah, that's what you said was Stacy, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, all right. So I didn't see any recording posted.
Steve should post it. I will remind him.
Yeah, when I looked, it looked like there wasn't. It looks like nothing happened today. I was sad that there wasn't going to be a video.
No, I'm fully expecting Steve to post it because we had to pause the session. It was getting good, and we had to pause the session so he could set up the code. Unfortunately, the previous hour on Dig Life didn't get saved because I didn't remember where the key was. I remember where it is now, but it didn't help me during the meeting, and nobody else could remember it either. But
Yeah.
But Michael and Eric are coming around to where we are at the command line and in the channels now. I can see us coming together. But his diagrams from that video really helped. I don't know if we have access to the link yet.
Which ones are those?
Diagrams that show, okay, in block form, he shows up here on the top left that we put our art object in a directory and then we do a hash of it. Then we take that and post it to a distributed blockchain. Then we create provenance. Then we take a contract.
Now, wait a second. Creating provenance means, that's when we store it on the blockchain, right? That's the provenance.
Yeah, but we've got to have a document along with it, because this provenance has to be updatable at every sale.
Right. Well, every time you have a sale, you get a new provenance document.
Okay, but the way I see it, the provenance is just a template that gets filled in.
I see provenance as the complete history of the art object. That's its provenance.
Yeah, but the provenance should also include, refinements to, I mean, it should include other things as well, but I'm going to leave that argument to Eric. But as I see it, I feel comfortable with his block structure with that provenance there, following the step where we put it on the distributed file system, but before we introduce it to contracts. Oh, and I forgot to mention something. Up there at the first stage, he also says you create your DID document to be included with the art object.
Right. So, the main thing about property that we're getting from Mark Miller's stuff, he writes, and derivative value. The stuff was really interesting in looking at the failure to capitalize on capabilities. You have capabilities, but if you, in order to get the value from them, you have to capitalize on them. Which basically means use them. This all comes together very, very nicely. It's really how property becomes as we add capabilities. And, all the things we've added to it, and it's becoming what it is the history of the object ultimately. But it's a meta. It's defining the object. It's not the object is in a state of becoming. It's okay. There's the second order effects. It's you have the derivative functions, which are functions that use the value or that capitalize on the value in different ways. Um, but yeah, I mean, I really got excited about the Mark Miller stuff.
Yeah, I see Mark Miller's stuff coming into play at the rolling contract stage.
Well, you know, I mean, it's just writing the contracts for the, you know, for the 15%. You know, is, you know, managing capabilities. It's e-rights.
But the e-rights is also the ability for the person now to become the owner of the art object. So that also involves the manipulation of the e-rights of access to the file itself, and also in
Yeah, but when somebody else becomes an owner, the previous owner gets 15%, right?
yeah.
I like it. I like it. So is that on? We put that on the agenda for tomorrow.
Yeah, put it on the
Uh,
so when that second person receives ownership of the file, does it, the file itself doesn't have to change locations, does it? It can change locations, but if it does, then the provenance, or what actually describes what the art object is, has to be updated. Yeah, in this concept of transferring 15%, in some sense, in perpetuity to the original owner of the art.
Well, the rules are arbitrary. I mean, it's a generative environment where the rules become, you generate the rules.
Yeah, I know, but this concept of 15% going to the original owner in some sense, even after the first sale, is an area called a transfer royalty. Did he call it that? A resale rights. And like you say, we can do the resale rights any way we want to.
Okay.
But for the purposes of this toy model, we're using Eric's. He says this is pretty standard in art sale and resale.
Okay. Well, I want to write the rule line.
But my question is, after that, when that third sale happens, I'm doubtful about where the 15% goes.
Well, I mean
Or let's say I'm uncertain.
that's totally up to how we define the contract per art object.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
In other words,
it's-
okay. So you have a basic thing they can't change. They could do an ownership transfer. And receive a payment, and but 15% of that payment goes to the previous owners. Okay, which
may not be the originator of the art object. And should he give all of that to the originator, or should it always go to the originator, all of the 15%?
at every level there's 15%. There's 15% of 15%. Okay, and it always goes back to somebody. The first reference. Okay. The information tax.
But say this art object got resold 5 times. So the first time
he has a contract, very simple. Let's say
everything goes to the originator the first time. Now the second owner can resell it, and 85% of that will go to him, but 15% will go to the originator. Now the third time, the second owner will sell it. He will get 85% of the selling price, and 15% will, wait a minute.
yeah, no, it's like this, Gary. Okay, I get money two ways. I create an art object, right? And I sell it. And the people who buy it from me, okay, they have an e-right to sell it, which is provable. There's provenance that he has the right to sell it, and what the amount was, and he gets 15%. Okay, and now the second way that you get paid is you get the 15%. Right, you get the 50% for the people that pay you. Now, that 15% that you get, you also have to pay to the original owner. Okay, and that original owner is getting this 15%, which it has to send 15% to the original owner. So it always goes back to the original owner, but it gets smaller very quickly.
Yeah, and that's what I'm worried about, because Eric says the purpose of this 15% in the art community is, artists start out having to sell everything they produce for a pittance, and when they die, their works may be selling for hundreds of millions, which they see nothing of, and their estate sees nothing of. So I'm wondering if 15%, compounded at each level is a large enough revenue stream to the original creator to guarantee
Okay.
A decent return on his labor.
Good point. I mean, yeah, if you're talking about a piece of artwork and the reseller is going to get 85%, that's a lot. Okay, these are single one-time things. Okay, obviously, in the case of these unique items, you wouldn't have a contract you wouldn't allow people to sell it. You wouldn't have a contract in the object that says they can sell it and for any price they want, but you get 15%. No. More the other way around. You get 85%. Okay, and he gets 15%.
But
the seller, okay, or that's the contract is separate depending on the item. But if you have something like a crypto kitty, and you're selling crypto kitties, okay, then 15% is fair, right? It costs you nothing to make more of them. And if and when there's a billion of the kitties out there, if you're the originator, you're going to make out pretty well.
okay, but the crypto kitties is, would we say that's non-fungible? I mean, is that that's not what we're doing right now, is it?
All these objects are non-fungible. They're not money, right? But
they are in a,
most of the art that we're dealing with here is not physical pieces of art. Okay.
Well, I don't understand how the crypto kitties multiply. What we're doing doesn't have any multiplication factor built into it. It only has provenance,
Yeah.
and a chain.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's only a frame for whatever we want to do. If somebody purchases a song or a kitty or a video or whatever, what's the deal? Well, it's whatever deal you want to make. Right? That's the whole idea. Is we're not saying it has to be just one thing. But you can say, you can resell it for 15% and give me 15%. You can give them that capability. You can say, you can sell it and I get 85%. You can give them that capability. You can give them any capability you want, right? When you transfer to them. And I'm saying that it makes sense to have contract so that you always get the residual. The 15% of the 15% of the 15%, whatever. You get something. So if it goes viral, you're not left out in the cold.
I suppose the other thing is, does artwork really depreciate?
I'm sorry?
Artwork or art objects, I'm assuming if they're like actual art, it wouldn't really depreciate much, would it?
No, digital art objects wouldn't depreciate in the way you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, crypto kitties are just files, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever. So a copy of a file are.
Yeah, but you mean they don't deteriorate in condition, but depreciate in value. Yeah, digital art objects can certainly depreciate in value.
Right. Once everybody has it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was what I was wondering. I was thinking if like whether if it was something valuable and there was only like one made as such, then it would theoretically retain its value. But if everyone has it, then it would reduce in value, I guess.
Right.
Well, the fact that it was, one of, it would never lose that. But what someone is willing to pay for that is another question. So as at first use or at first inspiration, something may be worth a lot of money, but later on, better solutions will come to be found, and so your original creation may depreciate in value for that reason, even though it is a one of.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So good question though, thought provoking.
What happens when you never mind. So I got distracted there, but yeah. So I mean, I was actually looking at doing seeing if we could create the e-rights for the artist reserve rights transferred and sale agreement. That will be fun. Okay, let's look at the we have the June, July, August spreadsheet. This is what was paid. Um, okay, so Gary, you got 1,200 rock. That's something. It's not nothing.
How much, at one time, the CoLab had some different tokens. What kind of different tokens do the CoLab have?
We have Divi tokens. We have BYOID tokens. I guess we had, yeah, we had some other tokens too.
We don't have any Lumen or Ether or Bitcoin.
We
I know we've got Rock, right?
Yeah. Oops, where is this? If we flip this up and do this, we have Archie Activists. Okay, we have, for the CoLab, we have some other accounts also without much in them.
Okay.
This is the biggest account, and it only has, well, it's got 1.80.
Got $322 worth. So what if
That's a V, right? Where is
so,
the where are the tokens?
so
Okay.
I could send you $322 of ETH, I mean of Rock to the CoLab wallet that currently stands at
Looks like I got 50,000 rock in this account.
Oh, okay. So I can transfer $300 worth of rock to that account, and you could transfer me $300 worth of ether, which I could use to buy $300 worth of lumen, which we can use to build robots with.
Interesting.
Or we could put some of the 300 back in the wallet. We could use it right out of the wallet, I suppose. Robot can reach the wallet, can't he?
No. We don't have.
Well, the wallet is not reconciled with the spreadsheet. Can Robot reach the spreadsheet?
Well, see, basically, we have to run it. We have to run an app to run transactions on Ethereum. It's not that hard to do.
Well, I'm saying we can get all of our money out of tokens that we can't manipulate automatically with, hint, Ether and Bitcoin, and start moving it into Lumen, which we can manipulate automatically, and we fund this Lumen with Rock. Oh, I'm
Yes.
getting,
Yes. So when do you want to do this? Thursday? The thing is, we can, oh boy. People can run. I mean, people can run their robot on their own machine, which is the beauty of Keybase. One of the beauties. I'd like to see how
speaking of which, I want to, can I share my screen for a second?
sure. So what are we going to do for September rewards? Put them off till November? Probably doing 3 months at a time makes sense now.
Okay. Yeah, because we're headed towards automation, and any time we spend on running this thing manually is time we could be automating the process.
Yeah, well, we're still going to have to pay each other. I mean, this is a pretty easy process.
Yeah, but we're well on the way. Okay. Here's my little program I want to run. And I've broken something, and I can't get these bash scripts to work anymore. So I'm running this one right now.
Yeah. Well, should we rewrite it? No, or fix it?
Yes, but let me show you what the error message is. It says JQ, I'm looking right here. JQ error starts with requires string inputs.
Yeah. Why do you care what it starts with?
Because I all I want is the B reply field, the message reply B field to start with
White
the
check mark.
white check mark. And that's literally, if we
Okay,
look at our message back here, that's going to be what the message reply B field looks like. Let me show you.
but
Huh?
Okay, the error is required.
Requires string inputs. Now, I have played, I think before we played with putting backslashes in front of those. That's not what it is. I tried putting brackets around it. That didn't help. Now, if we go back and look at the original code we found this in, I just have to look it up again.
Well, don't you have another starts with in there? Maybe the errors in the second starts with?
Wait a minute. Keybase bot in 10 lines. So this is the original code we looked at. So see, his has got he's not looking for a message reply. He's looking for a message contents text body starts with.
Right. And I think you still have some of that in there that you don't need, right?
Well, yeah. Well,
let's look at the code again. Okay, so what's this starts with bang robot or Oh, it's not. Oh, it's doing a left
Well,
trim.
that was back when we were looking for
Okay.
the string robot, and then when we printed the string back out, we wanted to strip with left trim string, you know, that off the front, and then we wanted to display everything else. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing any of that now. So the code's there. It doesn't hurt anything. In fact, it causes my test down here, if out to not equal a null, then do this. Well, that's fine. Mine does not equal a null because it's got star in it. But, you know, we never get it. We're failing when this thing tries to compile. So I could go back and we could rather than do message reply starts with, why don't we go back and select message content text like we did over here. Let's say select message content text starts with, we'll just copy to the Arnie and then we'll choose something else. Copy. So instead of this much, we want.
I don't know. I don't know that this is going to do any good.
What?
I don't think this is going to do any good.
Well, I just want to see if it will, because I know this other thing was running at one time. Oh, now I'm confusing myself. Okay, we don't want to do Arnie. We want to say robot. Robot space. And then we're going to left trim string robot. And then we're going to say, thank you for using, no, why don't we say here, okay. We want to, let's just go back to echoing. No, I didn't need that much of it. Should I have, yeah, that's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to save this, file, save. Now I'm going to go back here and I'm going to issue.
Now you've had a problem where you can't do payments from this shell. Well, you can, but everything else works okay.
Wait, I'm drawing a brain freeze here. I did that. I did this. This thing I'm going to have to stop and it's going to close. So that's okay. But why I want my,
What's wrong?
I want to do, what is it? Dot slash. How do I execute that .sh file?
Well, just you can't execute it. You can do a bash space in the file name.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm in the wrong directory. So,
You're at a command prompt here. So what do you want to do? You have to type a command name, like type bash space in the file name. You have to run it in bash. You're not running it as a Windows procedure. It's a bash procedure. So why don't you try using something like Atom as an editor? You have Atom?
yeah.
Oh, that's Atom?
No, that's not Adam. I just want to get it over there. Oh, I could just open it in Adam, can't I?
You just type Atom and then the file name. Yeah, no, at the command line, you can type Atom in the file name.
Close this. Is that better?
That looks nice. I don't know, what were we using? It seemed like,
Oh, it was just Notepad plus plus.
okay.
It doesn't like this line down here. It doesn't like the parentheses. Let's go back to his original.
If that's in quotes, it should be fine. Let's look at it again.
I did change that area. Let me go back over here and change it back. Well, actually, I don't know if what I'm doing now is right or not because I've never gotten that far, but I've never failed there either.
What was
So
the
let's
error
just,
message again?
what?
What's the error message? I mean, it's got a, it looks like a syntax error.
Yeah, cheddar line, syntax error near token, right brace, right curly brace.
And that's on line 10. What's line 10? I guess it's the key-based chat. Oh, it's that one.
I'm not sure it's that one or which
What?
right.
Line 10 is the line with the phi on it.
Oh, oh, oh. Go back here a second. And going back.
Now, I don't know why it's doing that in the subshell.
Well, anyway, I was further along than I am now, and I'm sorry this happens to me often. I get to this stage where I get stumped and then start making mistakes. So I need to back up.
Delete the brace from line 8 and line 10, and then run that.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, the semicolon does nothing.
So how do I save this? Save. So I go. Oh, this is not where I ran it, is it?
Right? That was where you had the error. Right?
How did I run it? Batter dash. Okay, batter. Now it's saying the semicolon is unexpected.
That's weird. Semicolon shouldn't have any effect. Take the semicolon. Get rid of the semicolon. I don't know why it would say that. It's weird.
What?
Line 11.
Seems like I've got an extra.
Okay, get rid of the. Okay, get rid of these two, and get rid of the one on line 4 also. I don't know why that would give an error. I mean, it seems like it, it's the dialect of Bash. Or they're the wrong characters. Sometimes
Now it says unexpected in the file.
why would it say that? We have an if and an end if. We have
Then
where's the done? Why do we have a done in here?
while.
Oh, we have a while read L. Do. Done. Unexpected end of file. So what's missing? Something is missing.
Can I view?
Okay, are there any single quotes in that string? Are there any single quotes?
Yes, yes. Here and here. You see them?
Okay. Okay, so this whole thing is in single quotes. So this is the string that we're sending to JQ. And that's correct. Okay. Now the do and the done, do they line up? Well, we only have an if and if.
No, the while and the done.
Yeah, while do, the do and done.
Okay.
While do. Okay, the do, and that's, we're piping in, listen into while done. Let's look at that error message again. Doesn't make any sense. Unexpected end of file. Unexpected end of file. What in the world could it think is missing?
It's not going to be something like a semicolon, is it?
Well, there's one more semicolon.
Um,
Did I save it?
I don't think so.
That didn't do it. I am stumped. Does it look like something's open that didn't get closed?
You've got two Atom windows open, haven't you?
Oh yeah, no, I don't think that's.
Okay.
Can you just copy and paste the whole thing into the chat?
Zoom chat or just
Zoom chat is fine.
yeah, I'm tired of playing with it. Yeah, but it would be interesting if you could run it in your bash and see what errors you get.
That's what I'm going to do. What is that? Keybase. That's bizarre.
And this message is new. The ones I'm seeing today, I have never seen before.
Want to see what I found? Look what's on my screen.
Yeah, sure. I want to see.
Oh, where is it?
Oh, you were running the listener?
Yeah. How do you like that?
Well, how many of those things did you get?
Oh, well, I didn't go back. You know, I got about 30, 20 or 30 right then, there. And I got more earlier. Okay, so we have this. unexpected token 5.
Now that was what I started with. That was what I started with yesterday.
Okay, so
That is so
that's interesting. Unexpected token 5. So that means this didn't end this if. Somehow this 5 didn't match this if. Okay, now I say if here, then I put in brackets here. Okay, and I think the problem is I need a semicolon, or I need to put the then on the new line. Now I get unexpected token done. Well, so there must be something screwy in here. Now I set out here. And here I do get the result of executing JQ. Executing JQ.
unexpected end of file is a bash error, isn't it?
Yeah,
I was getting further than this before.
yeah, well, something is very weird. Gotta be some crazy character or something. Because this is bash, and I'm using a real bash interpreter on Ubuntu here. So that there shouldn't be anything funny here. And I forget how to show control characters in VI.
Jim, why don't you go back to that original 10-line key-based robot? And try to get that to run, because last time you had that running and
so if I show a list here, it'll show me any funny characters in here. And there are none. What else could be wrong? It couldn't be this, could it? Observe. Unexpected. Bash dash X. If that shows us anything. Didn't show us anything. Okay. So I'm going to how could it? It's just so bizarre. I mean, a few days. Oh, well, that's and it reads the line. Okay, you see how this works? I mean, it reads the line here, and then it sends the line as input, and these three uses input things are it's a very new addition to Bash and something you really didn't need. I think they did it because it's like C++ or something. I don't know why. But we got that from the example, and that works. Echo, first time I ever used it, playing this stuff. Okay, because this is doing the same thing. This is saying, no, it's saying supply as input. This is saying take the output of all this stuff and assign it to the variable out, which we don't really need. We can get rid of it. But it's interesting to have it. If you know, I feel really silly, but I can't figure out what's wrong with this. And if it doesn't expect it done, then it didn't see the do. While read L do. Oh. I need a semicolon before the do. Otherwise, it doesn't know that it's a do. Silly me. Okay, I did a dash X in there, which shows me the commands as are being executed here. So the first thing I executed was the channel did live, in Keybase chat API listen, then it does a read L. Fail to reach user level systems D.
Okay.
Starting background server with PID 789. Error. Home art chain. Interesting.
So it looks like it made it all the way to the end, didn't it? But then couldn't find this file.
Yeah. Which is bizarre because we could see in this window it was receiving stuff from Keybase. Okay, so I'm going to quit here. And, oh, I'm in .config. What am I doing in .config here? And I'm in art chain. That was odd. I guess I was looking at the tail of a file from a different account. Because, I'm going to move that to Jim. Permission denied. What? Oh. It's not executable. I need to do x.row. What happened x.show?
X.shell still looks like it's in. Oh no, you moved it to Jim.
Row dash. I see. X.shell is in the main directory, not in the row dash directory.
Right.
It doesn't let me change the ownership. It's assumed, I guess, they have ownership, but I can just run a bash. SH to run it. And I can do a dash X, the bash command, to see a log of executing each statement. And it's working.
Sweet.
So I guess if we look back at your problem,
So you did a
you probably had a semicolon problem, right? That's all we found.
is this types up.
You're breaking up, Gary.
Oh, share your screen again. I want to see what the listener saw.
It's we're just waiting for something to happen, right?
I sensed something.
Oh, okay.
You should have seen something come back.
Okay, I didn't. Let's look. Yep, there's something.
Oh, sweet.
Okay, so it really is working. So would you
But
would you
we're getting nothing in now. I guess we're not using that. We didn't do a bang rolling or whatever it was looking for.
No, we didn't. But could you copy the code into the channel, or did it change?
I'm sorry.
Copy the code of x.sh into the Zoom channel, or share it with me on.
You know, it bothers. I mean, it's not going to let me edit it either, huh? Okay. Now, what I don't understand what this is. I mean, this is a little weird having this thing in here for no reason. I mean, why, what are we trying to get into out? What do we want? What do we want in out?
So anything at the present time, because we're actually building our out. I mean, out can be whatever we want it to be, but at the line, if
Well,
out.
why do we even want any value in out? You know, I'm just saying this. If I look at this code, I have no idea what you're trying to do here.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, it does look like you're looking for a bang robot, but for what purpose?
Well, we just want to echo everything that's on the line, except
Okay, you take off. You're taking off. You're doing a trim of the left. You're taking off the bang robot.
right. And so that's all we did, and that's all that's in out. But all we actually care about is out not null. If it's not null, then we do a key-based chat send channel out. And that gives them everything except that robot that was on the beginning. But if it doesn't have robot on the beginning, they'll never see it. They'll never see a message. Out will always be null. So fortunately, let's see if we can make it respond.
I mean, it's going to send nothing on the channel.
No, it'll repeat the line back. Here, let me show you. Start it running again, and I'll send a command.
Where are we? Where should I be looking?
Wait, just keep looking. I haven't said it yet.
Look where?
In your listener.
Oh. Oh, currently I'm not listening, am I?
I haven't sent it yet.
Well, I'm not listening anyway, so.
Well, start it listening.
Okay, I started the listener.
Okay, it didn't work. Why didn't it work?
What do you mean it didn't work? It looks like it worked to me.
It should have echoed back to the channel. Here is a
Oh,
message from the channel, echo it.
uh,
Oh, Keybase 2. Oh, well, that's not going to work because,
well, this should be in quotes,
yeah, that should be in quotes.
but that,
So it didn't get executed, but it worked.
why did,
It
well,
saw the robot and it echoed the rest of the string somewhere. It just didn't get to the channel because we've got a syntax error.
we should have gotten an error somewhere. Where is it? It's Rolang. Where is it? What channel was it? Rolang AOTV. Chat.
No, there's nothing there. You didn't send anything back to the channel. That all you did was echo that. Is that what we want to do?
Now, we wanted to, oh, no, we do a Keybase chat.
We execute it. Why didn't it execute? Go back to the
We have to give some kind of error.
go back to the channel.
And why?
No, I'm sorry. Go back to the bash. Echo dollar channel and see what if it has a value.
Okay, we had these. Oh, okay, here. See, we don't have it echoing. It's not echoing. The Keybase chat send. It's like it's echoing it here. Why? There's no echo here. Keybase send, chat send. In other words, we're not seeing. Oh, we have an echo $L here. I see.
And that's what we saw. Echo dollar $L, but yeah, dollar $L has the robot stripped out of it.
L should be the whole line. What's this? Line 5. JQEXE, no such file or directory.
What?
Yeah.
That means you didn't change directory up there at the top.
That's because JQ is not installed properly or something.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
So if I take out that's on Windows, js.exe, right? I'm not on Windows.
Oh, yeah.
So I take off the ./ because it's not in the current directory, and I take off the .exe because it's not on Windows. And now that should work. But the thing I didn't see,
Okay, do you want me to send another test?
I can send one so you don't look so silly. How come it doesn't copy? Why doesn't it paste?
You don't seem like your cursor is down there in the box.
Yeah, weird. Didn't work. One compiler error.
Oh, notice down here it says Unix shell quoting issues, question mark. Unix shell quoting issues.
That's interesting.
I'll be right back.
All right, I'm gonna. I've seen it work before. All right, well, I'll be taking off.
What?
I'm taking off.
Okay, yeah, I'm kind of at a burnout point today, but this is all great stuff. Thanks for all your input. One thing, I think I need to go look at the JQ documentation and tutorial a little bit more.
Yeah, it's a nice, very nice little tool for working with Jason
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
shell.
Okay, well, I'm going to go play with that, and I guess I'll see you tomorrow sometime.
Later, guy. Bye bye.
Bye.